Hello, my name is Stephanie Melissa Ayala, and today I will be presenting on Jean Piaget's cognitive development theory and its application to autism. So, who is Jean Piaget? Jean Piaget created the theory of cognitive development, which revolutionized how we understand children's learning. He emphasized that children are active participants in constructing knowledge, and this theory continues to inform modern teaching practices, especially in how we support children with autism spectrum disorders. Jean Piaget was a psychologist from Switzerland with a background in both biology and philosophy. He worked with other psychologists such as Alfred Binet, where he observed how children reason and learn. His multilingual and democratic upbringing in Switzerland also influenced his views on education as a process that develops reasoning with social context. The intellectual and social climate of the early 20th century Europe, where psychology and education intertwine, shaped the foundation of his developmental theory. So Piaget's cognitive learning theory focuses on how humans process, store, and retrieve information. Unlike theories that only study observable behavior, Piaget highlighted perception, memory, and problem solving. His stages of development emphasized that learning must be developmentally appropriate. He also believed in constructivism, meaning learners build knowledge by interacting with their environment. For Piaget, teachers should act as facilitators who create opportunities for exploration and discovery. So the four developmental stages. Piaget outlined 4 stages of cognitive development: the sensory-motor stage, which happens at 0 to 2 years of age; the pre-operational stage that happens at 2 to 7 years old; the concrete operational stage that happens at 7 to 11 years old; and the formal operational stage. Each stage represents different ways of thinking and requires different approaches to learning. Children cannot be rushed into the next stage before they are developmentally ready. So Piaget theory influenced classrooms by promoting active, discovery-based learning. Teachers are seen as guides rather than transmitters of facts. Examples include building block activities, science experiments, and cookie projects. These encourage students to test ideas, solve problems, and construct their own knowledge. For students with autism, Piaget's framework can be both useful and challenging. For example, neurotypical children often engage in symbolic play during the pre-operational stage, while children with autism may prefer sensory-focused or repetitive play. This shows the importance of modifying instruction. Strategies such as building tasks, visual supports, peer-mediated activities can help students with autism gain similar cognitive benefits while also building communication and social skills. So Piaget's stages were presented as universal, but research shows cultural and neurodiverse differences influence development. Children with autism may excel in some cognitive areas while facing challenges in abstract reasoning or social skills. Critiques argue that Piaget's overlooked culture, language, and environment, which are now recognized as critical to learning. So Piaget's stage theory has been criticized for being rigid since children often reach milestones earlier or later than expected. Vygotsky, for example, emphasized social and cultural influences more strongly than Piaget did. Recent research suggests his theory should be adapted for neurodiverse learners, such as children with autism. Although Piaget's work was groundbreaking, it requires reinterpretation for today's diverse classrooms. Piaget's work emphasized that children are active learners who construct knowledge through experience. His stages highlighted the importance of developmental readiness, which ensures instruction matches a child's cognitive level. These contributions continue to influence curriculum, design, and teaching strategies today. Despite its strengths, Piaget's theory has limitations. These stages can be too rigid since children often progress at different rates. This theory also did not fully account for cultural, linguistic, or neurodiverse differences. Research on children with autism, for example, shows that development can look very different Piaget stages. These limitations mean the theory must be adapted to meet the needs of today's diverse classrooms. From a biblical perspective, Piaget's emphasis on guiding children aligns with Proverbs 22:6, which says, "Start children off the way they should go. Even when they are old, they will not turn from it." This highlights the responsibility of educators to meet children where they are at developmentally and culturally, while also supporting their growth. So in conclusion, Piaget's theory remains highly influential, but it must be adapted for modern, diverse classrooms. Autism highlights the need for flexibility when applying his stages. By combining his developmental framework with inclusive practices, educators can create environments that allow all children to engage meaningfully and critically in learning. These are my references that support my presentation. Thank you so much.